Hosukyomi, and I'm back at it like a crack at it, and it's time to debate a new series in the Blue Lock fandom where we swap coaches instead of swapping players. And we will start off with Chris Prince and Lavinho because they're in the battle of the words. So we will keep their philosophies into their new team. So Chris will have the training philosophy and Lavinho will have the originality philosophy of not teaching them. So let's quick reminder of the philosophies. It goes as follows. Manshine City, England, a league characterized by speed and physical battles where goals are stolen by the law of physical prowess. We could call it entertainment focused as it makes you hold your breath every time. Next is Spain, a league where technique and creativity are desired. Their citizens won't get satisfied just by seeing goals. It's a place that gathers footballers who want to express creativity and playfulness. So let's start off with FC Barcha since we were introduced to them first. Chris Prince is a great coach who can assess any player's talent by touching them and then actually guides his players to the best path to perform in matches and enhance their talent and make sure it never wither. He would do wonders for FC Barcha, so let's get into their positives. Okay, first let's start off with Barcha. He wouldn't be able to do much for him since he already excelled under Lavinho, but even though he can learn Gengar X Monster, Chris Prince would be able to give him different types of dribbling techniques for him to at least learn or take inspiration from, at least help him mature his dribbling, and he would gain counter dribbling similar to Itil Shishe and add it to his repertoire. Next is Otoya. I feel like he would give him a shallow shooting technique similar to Chigri, making it take advantage of his off the ball movements and happen at a certain position similar to Chigri, with Barcha being such a bright light that Otoya would be the destructive light darkness in the shadows. He would be the help that others he would be able to help others, but I don't believe he would give them new abilities, but they would all be significantly better as none of them really got focused, and we're only getting focused on Himizu Aiki in the Blue Lock episode 90 new chapter, so we don't know how to actually help him yet. Negatives. Although Chris Prince would be able to teach Barcha his dribbling techniques, I doubt it would be on par with Lavinho even with his 100 dribbling, because Chris Prince really didn't show any good dribbling feats in the Manshine versus Bastard match. The only other downside I see is not Chris Prince's fault, but this team is just bombs cheek that not even Pep Guardiola could save himself, and he's a cool. Match number 1. I'm pretty sure with a stronger FC Barcha, this game would go very similar until it's 1-1, where Otoya would debut this new shadow shooting technique to get back the lead. Kaiser would score an equalizer to make it 2-2, and then Chris would sub himself on. The reason why he would do it now is because he would want to only come on in the main event where the stakes are highest, unlike Lavinho, who just got his blood pumping after Kaiser impact to make it 1-1 and pulled up. Chris would then use his knuckleball shots to win against Noah, and Isagi would not be able to use his Metavision to save it this time because he has no Metavision yet, and that's GG. Match number 2. This team is already better because they've only won one match, but they would still get crushed by Ubers like 3-1 or 3-2 depending on if Chris Prince comes on. Match number 3. I could see FC Barcha getting their butts kicked 2-0 early on by goals by Win and Cheeto, but I believe Chris Prince can make the magic happen. I believe he would shoot an insane score when he subs in to make it 2-1, and because Loki is Loki, he won't sub in, and then Otoya would get the ball back and get back from when Carousel embarrassed him by getting the ball from Zantetsu the idiot, Labaka, steal the ball and pass it to Chris, and everyone would try to jump him since Loki again isn't playing, but to stop the shot course, that wouldn't work as the knuckleball technique would confuse everyone and got a second goal and equalizing the game, telling his team to finish the job as he's leaving off. And I believe since Shido was missing several shots in this game, only shooting 3 on target and 9 off target, I believe FC Barcha could take advantage of that and complete the magical comeback to make it 2-3. This would have been the hypest NEL game if it was like put detail to detail and this actually happened. I would have loved to see a 2-0 comeback. I'm pretty sure Nike is going to do it against FC Barcha in real life, but we'll have to see. Now let's get into Manshine City. People may think that because Lavinho's there that they are all screwed, but that's not the case. They are way more than screwed. I love Lavinho. Lavinho, a useless man when it comes to being a coach, with the most useless functional people on earth. Mental crisis x no help equals failure. Let's see if Lavinho can save this team. Let's get into the positive, shall we? Because there is still. He would actually be willing to build a team around Rayo and Chigri and not just Nagy after the PXG game, as he is in Chris Prince, and he wouldn't have the patience for Nagy as they are not alike like how Nagy and Chris were. I believe Rayo would be the king of this team though, because similar to Barcha, Rayo is a person who will speak up when they want something, because Rayo in the first selections was shown to be a schemer and was the one to make moves to make sure his team survived, and if it wasn't for Rayo, that team would have failed badly. Now, he would go to Lavinho asking for advice similar to Barcha and Isagi did to the respective masters. Lavinho would show him off some skills and just help him guide him to the best skill set he can get from him, since he is a copycat, which is pretty funny because he's with the leader that lends originality and he's just a copycat. They're two opposites. And the thing about Noah and not Noah, Lavinho especially, is that Lavinho will help you if you go to him. Barcha went to him and Lavinho helped him with the monster advice and even fine-tune his dribbling skills. If you go to him, he will help you. It's like in the book of the Bible when they said the Lord wants to be with you, but you have to make the effort to go be with the Lord. You have to make a connection with the Lord. Now, Noah is different. I'm not going to talk about it much because this isn't a video about him, but he was the type who would just like receive information requests from Isagi, and from time to time he would step in and give a bit of advice, but he would mainly tell to Isagi, and then Isagi would just go tell everyone else. So it was like Noah knew that Isagi had a good brain, so he probably is like, I'm gonna be that teacher who has the lead student, and the lead student will share off with the other students, so I don't have to be like an actual teacher to everyone. If I can be a teacher to one student and he helps everyone excels, that's fine. Whatever gets Noah to sleep faster. Now, let's continue, shall we? Rayo wouldn't gain as much as Barcha when it comes to gaining dribbling skills from Lavinho, because Rayo is not Barcha. He does not have that originality or creativity. He has some creativity, but Barcha's creativity is off the charts, bro. But I still believe Rayo would be weaker than the Chris Prince training he gave him, since Chris Prince knew the body Rayo was after, and Lavinho wouldn't know the exact body he was after and wouldn't know how to train Rayo to the perfect body, but Rayo should still be fine. Now let's get into the negatives. The first major negative is Chigri, as he is kind of an introvert, and in the first selection it was very known that he did not want anyone getting into his business, and we do not really see him being an extrovert unless it's with Kunagami and his revenge tour on Isagi, which miserably failed. They got clapped by Isagi, Barra, and Nagy. Yeah, I don't see him getting any new weapons, which means he would be significantly weaker, as he wouldn't understand how to use his weapons properly as he did in Manshine, and wouldn't have a 44-degree formula technique too, and have stamina problems potentially like how he did in the U20 match, which would be really bad. Now the first game would start off the same, but Chigiri wouldn't score in this version as he would have been weaker, and Isagi and Corona would have been able to stop him, and then they would continue the game utilizing Planet Hotline to move up the field, with Kaiser stopping Isagi in his tracks, and then Chigiri would kick it to Nagy, and the game would go like in cannon, with Nagy getting his shots stopped by Yukimiya using immersive speed. Check out Aerial Assassin, he did a good review on Yukimiya's skill set. And then Kaiser would see an opening to get a jaw-dropping Kaiser impact to get the lead 1-0. Then Lavinho and Noah would sub on. Lavinho would properly cook the Bastard Merchant team, equalizing the game 1-1. Oh yeah, Isagi would have attained a Metavision by now, but he wouldn't be able to stop Lavinho like he did with Chris Prince, as Lavinho's dribbling feats are insane. And no, Chris Prince only was stopped because the knuckle shot takes too long to land. Like, bro, it was like those Disney animations you see in the beginning of the movie. That's how it was going. So Lavinho would have actually dribbled past everyone, so Isagi wouldn't stop him if Lavinho was really close to the goal line and scoring like the way he did in the cannon. And then Noah would score like the cannon, embarrassing the heck out of everyone in Manshine, leaving it 2-1 and up to Isagi and Kaiser to finish off the game. But Nagy would see Isagi evolving and realize that he is about to lose to Isagi, and if he doesn't step up, so he and Rayo would cook the whole entire team to make it 2-2, and now you would have his die down moment. Dun, 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 dun. The game would actually end with Yukimiya scoring the game winner because Lavinho wouldn't be as defensive minded as Chris Prince was to score. To stop his shot. So Yukimiya would score, which is bad for him because this is the goal that Ego said he shouldn't have scored, as it would have put his ego too far, as it was a goal too great for him, as he dribbled past like 5 or 6 defenders and he would just be like Nagy. But we are not here to diagnose the blind man today. So on to the next match. Match number 2. After seeing Nagy explode, Lavinho would take great interest in the Nagy Rayo duo, and Nagy would tell him usually how he plays based on the pass he is given. So Lavinho would focus on making a system where Nagy's originality can thrive better by improving Rayo's skills, because the more crazier the passes, the more crazier Nagy will react. In the next game, with all that said in stone, I would see PXG beating the crap out of Manshine, with Rin scoring a hat-trick and Chigri barely scoring a goal, having a harder time than the original timeline. But I would also make Lavinho finally take interest in him. You guys may be asking, why the hell did Nagy and Rayo not do anything in this match again, even though they were giving more specific training to help Nagy get better? The problem is, with Nagy beating Isagi, Rayo tried to help him, motivate him with the 300 million yen, and literally nothing was working to motivate Nagy at the time, and it wasn't Nagy's realism. So if Lavinho's giving the challenge, it's not Nagy's challenge, but Lavinho's challenge to him, just like Rayo gave the challenge and it was Rayo's challenge to Nagy. Nagy has to be the one who inserts the challenge himself for him to actually be motivated to work, like he was the one who gave himself the challenge to beat Isagi, which is why he exploded the way he did. So no matter who was going to give them the challenge, it took Nagy to give himself the challenge for him to actually explode. And without that, no matter how good Rayo gets, Nagy will hold the both of them down. And I believe Rayo did get better after the Barcha München game, but he hasn't had the chance to help Nagy explode or explode himself because Nagy is holding them both down badly, and this would be really bad. Now let's get on to match 3. Ding ding. The Ubers would destroy them badly, and if Lavinho doesn't play, they would actually get 3-0, but if they do play, I'll luckily see Lavinho score 1 goal. That's about it. This game would be worse than the original. That's how bad they would lose. And now Rayo and Nagy would be off of Lavinho's system. The system in the final game would be based around Chigri, because since Chigri finally got Lavinho's attention, he's been getting dribbling tips from him and how to make them work with his explosive speed, similar with his back cut-ins taught by Chris Prince. I think he would have something similar to that, which is getting him on the right track. I could also see this game being really close, with Barcha opening up the game to make it 1-0, then Chigri getting quick equalizer to make it 1-1, and then Otoya scoring his dark shadow technique to make it 2-1, and then Nagy would have an explosive realization that if he doesn't tee up right now, he and his boy are not making the Japanese team, and if you get eliminated in Blue Lock, you can never make the Japan team, which is why Nagy needs to explode. He has to save himself and his boy because Rayo is actually in danger of actually being eliminated if they both don't tee up. So he would score 2 goals with Rayo's 2 insane assists, bringing Manshine their first and only win. They would still be the worst NEL team, as Ubers would have 2 wins, Barcha would have 2 wins, PXG would have 2 wins, and Bastard would still be the kings of the NEL with Hisagi number 1 with 3 wins. So I believe even though Barcha loses to Manshine barely, Chris would take the W for the better coach in this verse, as he makes them actually beat Isagi and Rin. Speaking of Rin, we are going to be analyzing what NEL club he would suit him best in the next time, so look out for that. But yes, Chris Prince easily takes his W, as he actually carried FC Barcha to a win against Bastard München and PXG in this version. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in this hour. Do you want to see Noah and Loki next? Let me know which one we're cooking with next. Peace out for now.